What's up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into the new Viseart how do you say this? Bijouxette Etendu palette. It retails for $44. It is only on their website and Muse Beauty Pro right now. I don't know if it's coming to Sephora or not. I noticed like a lot of stuff recently has been coming to Sephora, but my thirsty behind had to have this palette because I mean, first of all, look at it. Like, just look. Marvel at the sexiness of it. Look at it. It is gorgeous, and I needed it. And when we open it, you'll see why I needed it. I mean, look at it. It looks like it will have shimmers in it that will complete the fact that my one of my favorite all-time Viseart palettes is y'all know, it's the dark matte. So I'm like, I feel like the mattes in here will go nicely with the satins in this palette, and that's why I brought it along, just in case I needed some mattes. But looks like it's a couple of mattes in here that I could use to make eye look, so I might not pair this with this necessarily today. I mean, we gon' pair it with it, we all know that. And I might pair it with the editorial brights eventually too, because I feel like we can have fun bright mattes and then some cool like jewel tone shimmers to go along with it. So I had to get my hands on this palette. Y'all know I had to. You see me a little close there. Crap, y'all just rubbed it all over my pants. Yeah, it's not the day for me. My Picture Top palette that's on my face right now showed up with the little plastic flap broken. So how am I supposed to protect my cream? Like, it's not the makeup weekend for me, apparently. I feel like my base looks okay, but if y'all saw me close up, all you see is pores. It's just lots of pores. But I use that glowy powder from Huda, and that's why I feel like pores are right here. And then it doesn't help that there's highlighter right there to help along with accentuating the pores. And then since Patrick says I'm supposed to put the cream on top of the powder, I feel like that's just, everything is just pores. Like, if you walk up to me, it's just pores. But you know that, yeah. So dropping this palette just on my pants just made it even, you know, more of not a makeup weekend for me. But I'm gonna go off camera and, you know, get my life in order, do something with these colors. I don't know which colors I want to use. I feel like I'm gonna use this little section right here, and then maybe use like this red and this like brown matte to get it done, because there's not that many mattes in here that like are colorful, which is kind of disappointing to me. But it's like, since they literally gave you a whole, like, I just showed 2 palettes of mattes. Worst comes to worst, if I feel like I need to pull from them, I will, which is why I brought them. But anyway, I'm gonna go off camera, get my life in order, and then we're gonna do something with this palette, and I will return. Okay, I came back with this jewel toned moment, whatever this is. I don't even know what it is. Like, yeah, but I did use some of the colors I said I wanted to use. Like, well, I only used one color from the row I said I was gonna use. So I used these 3 here, I used this matte here, and then I used these 2 down. Sorry, no, and then I used these 2 down here to create what we got going on. In addition to using both of these palettes, just because I was like, yes, I have to incorporate them in because they have such gorgeous mattes. I feel like it will go well with this. So every time I use this palette, I feel like I'm going to use mattes from these other 2 palettes I just showed you, just because I feel like they just give me what I need. So what I did was I started off with the dark red shade in the palette that I showed you at the top, and just went along the side. As you can see, the shimmery blue is on the lower lash line. I put it on both sides just the same time like I normally do. So I'm like, I'm just gonna, you know. And then what I did was I took the light red shade and dabbed it on top of this, just because I was like, yeah, that's not red enough. So I took the red from the Editorial Brights palette and dabbed on top of this because I want a little bit more brightness. Not a lot, but just a little bit. So I'm going there now and patting on top of here. Then I started out with the oranges after that. So I took the orange from the Editorial Brights palette as well, and went ahead and started off with it, and then I put that shimmery orange on top of it to like deepen it up some. So depending on what tone of color I wanted, I just kind of used the Editorial Brights to help me out with that. So I'm gonna go over it now and start patting with the orange. I'm really loving these old nice brushes. If y'all haven't noticed, I've been using them more than I use like the Refers and the other ones, just because I don't know, they've been doing it for. So I blended two colors together, patting it over like this as you see. And now I'm going to go into this shade. And surprisingly, it kept the shimmer in it. So I like, if you saw me in person, like you could still see the gold reflex on my lid, which I was shocked about because I thought they were going to like fall off. But maybe because I didn't blend it out, maybe because I patted this on top of the lighter orange is why they're still there. But they're still there. And I'm like, whoa, let me find out. But they actually stay behind. What is going on here? What is this? That's what we're looking like so far. So then I did use the, we get into the part where I use the, what is it, the dark matte palette, because y'all know I had to use it. So I'm taking the brown shade now and I dusted it around here and over the top to kind of airbrush out this look a little bit. At least that's the shade I started out with. Then I took another orangish shade from the dark matte palette to dust over here to give it more of like the orangish feel that you see, but still give me a little bit of smokiness and depth, because y'all know I did for a smokiness and depth moment. So now I'm going to take, I took this orange shade right here and dusted it in with the brown to give me more of like that pumpkin-y, I guess, orangish. Well, not pumpkin, but like more sweet potato orangish effect. To bring back that coloring, since that's what the majority of the lid is. I want it somewhat tied in. And plus I just love all my Viseart palettes and wanted to use them together. Don't judge me! So, just dusted that over there nicely. And I'm going to take my clean brush and dust all over the top of this. Kind of smooth and help that out. Now it's time to use the shimmer. So I took the purple one at the end that I showed you all and just started putting it into the eye like so. And I actually wasn't angry even though it was a satin, because y'all know I do not have, I'm not for the satin moment at all. But I was actually okay with it, surprisingly. I'm like, check me out. Embracing the satin and whatnot. I think it's because it helps tie this look together and bring the softness without giving too much of sparkle and extra mist, which is kind of what I was okay with and going for with this particular look. So I'm like, yes, I'm here for it. I don't know what's going on with this eye because I feel like it looks like quite wrinkly and crinkly on the lid right here. Like right in this part right here, I feel like you can definitely see the wrinkles in my eye versus with the other side you can't. So I don't know what's going on with that, but you know. Moving on. Now I'm going to take that blue shade toward the end that I showed you all. And just pop that in our inner corner real quick. And that is pretty much the eye look with this palette alongside the other two, because I couldn't help myself. I had to. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to. I feel like this eye is watering up a little bit. I'm assuming maybe that's why it's not looking the same as the other one. I'm just trying to fix the lower lash line right now. And I'm going to take the clean brush once more. Under there, smooth that out. This side. Okay, now we're really actually done. So we'll back it on up and let's have a discussion. Okay, so the quality of this is the same as other Viseart quality, like the Violet palette, which is my personal favorite of this size. But this is a nice little runner-up one, you know. And then, you know, she's trying to make a neck-for-neck thing. Now, if she had more colorful mattes to go along with these shimmers, then, you know, she might have passed Violet. But because she doesn't and Violet does, Violet is still number one. But she's making a nice little appearance as number two. And I only own 2 of these, so, I mean, she has to be number 2. But I really like this palette. Let me swatch some of the shades I didn't use. Let's see. Swatch this gold. which I actually thought I was going to use in the inner corner, but then I was like, no, I want something different, a different pop in the inner corner, so I didn't use that. I'm trying to swatch a good majority of the shimmers, but I think I'll swatch this dark brown and the lighter brown that I didn't use, just so you can get a feel for the mattes too, because you saw me blend out the red one and the yellow one, and the orange one, so there's really no need to swatch that. I tried to use a good amount of stuff in this palette, but I still wanted some tones to just be different colors, so that's why I did the way I did it. But here are the tones. As you can see, this is looking more like a taupey shade. I thought it was going to be too light, but it seems to be more on the taupey side, which I'm liking. And this chocolate brown, like I could see myself like using this on the outer V and putting this all over the lid, and then putting like that gold shade in the inner corner, having that as a look for a day, so that would be cool. And then I put my little LA Lakers colors right here, and then I swatched the green because I figured that would be shade somebody would be interested in. So yeah, I really like this palette. Other thing is, I'm not liking the fact you can't buy stuff at Sephora anymore, so I don't know what's going on with that, but I wouldn't say that means I don't recommend the palette, because I do. It's just, keep in mind you're not going to be able to go to Sephora like you used to and like buy it. Like, I think the Violet I had to buy from them too, so I don't know if they're phasing themselves out of Sephora and they just didn't tell us or what's going on. But I have noticed like some of their launches haven't really been coming to Sephora anymore, and a lot of their stuff is disappearing. Like, I thought they were getting rid of my dark matte palette because like they took it off Sephora and they haven't like replenished it at all. It's just gone. So I don't know what's going on with Viseart as far as that concerned, but I know the quality has not changed. Like, look at my eyes, girl. Yes, I'm here for it. It's a vibe. I like this palette, and I think you should try it out if you're a jewel tone queen like myself. Just keep in mind you're not gonna have all those colorful masks that you want. Like, they only gave you the red and the orange, but I mean, if you're fine using a dark brown on the outer V for everything, like I know some people are, then I feel like you should like this palette because it gives you nice colors. And if you're more on the satin side when it comes to shimmers, because you like have more mature eyes and you don't want like the texture, then it'll be nice for you. So those are my thoughts. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.